Hello, welcome back to the channel. Last one of the year for me, a little Aston Martin V8 Vantage S. The vehicle is here for various treatments this week, detailing, two-stage paint correction, engine bay, interior, Modesta coatings and more. But before any of that, there is some footage from last week's new car prep and front end PPF installation on a brand new box fresh Porsche Macan 4, which is the EV Macan. Some footage of that to show you, so cue the music now. We'll take a look around that, and then I'll see you outside on the wet work for the Aston Martin. Right. Wash, decontamination phase complete. Wheels sorted. I think I mentioned in the voiceover, but the wheels, they're not really meant to be part of the job other than a standard wash and cleanse. But they've been off the vehicle. It's just easy for me to do so with the ramp. The time taken to do it is actually probably easy to do this than it is to do it out there in situ. But basically, I'm gonna blow it dry now with the Big Boy Blow R Pro, and I'll be back for the camera to do an initial paint inspection. And then we'll go from there. Hi there, afternoon, it's Jim at WhiteDetails, just after a quick paint touch-up for Aston Martin, if it's all possible. Right, Aston Martin SP10 Vantage V8 Vantage S. I believe it's quite a rare thing. Manual as well, which is pretty nice. Sounds great. So we're in for a two-stage paint correction with coatings, some interior work to follow. Now, I've seen the car once before. It came in for a quote. There was a Lotus Emira this side, the Aston was parked over there. They were brothers, the Lotus and this chap, the Lotus in for PPF. So we've been over the car and I said, look, I can kind of almost guarantee we'll find and locate sanding marks on the paint, unfinished sander marks from the factory, being hand finished, hand painted, polished. There are areas, usually, more often than not, that have sander marks left present on the surface. Sander marks like so. Not the worst I've seen. I was hoping to actually, when I saw the car first time around, hoping to find more, but you can see the ticks, the pigtails. As I was claying the car, I saw some in here as well. Yep, can you make out the squiggly little lines here? All the way down. Otherwise, I think the vehicle is pretty well cared for. Usual defects elsewhere. We've got an amount of stone chipping, road rash. There's a bad scratch here on the offside front corner. There's a lot of polish residue clumped up in places. Around the light there, look at the polish. All that needs sorting out later on. There is a problem area here, which we'll get onto that later. Let's just work our way around the car. It's quite a forgiving colour, difficult to capture most of it on camera. Plenty of scratching around the handle, visible there. The nature of the operation. Over years, people have been fumbling around and the nails have caught that. That'll be no problem to lift and to sort. A little bit of area of concern here, common. And these generations, usually this flakes and goes all badly as well, but corrosion here on the door. Polish build-up or residue on the mirror stalk there. Chips, the mirrors. There will be a good amount of stone chips to deal with or just tidy up as the job progresses. Some corner work here, near side rear. Something's been chafing, something's been wrapped around the corner here. Abrasions on the edge. Some of this probably too deep to polish, certainly with a two-stage polish, sadly. Earlier on in the wash footage, I showed the fingering marks in the dirt that were left on the paint. Now, put that under a light. And similar to the door handle on the near side, you can see the damage that's induced over the years where people, even with the car clean, it's not ideal, but with the boot up, they wrap the hand around the paint and close it, as opposed to just using the tag and allowing it to bounce. But that's better. Offside corner, nasty scratch. I did spot as well on the underside here. It's just caught something there. It's grazed the paint and the underside. I'll try and do a bit of a touch up on that. Similar story on the handles on the driver's side. If we zoom into the very top corner here, lower side skirt, driver's side, kill some exposure, watch the sander marks appear there in the very top corner. We'll make sure we get tight into them areas with the polishing. More polish residue. A couple of blebs in the wing here. 1, 2, 3. I wonder if this wing has been painted. Oh, that's quite heavy. Sander marks on the base of the A-pillar there. And then the bottom of the door. Again, the tighter to the edge we get. Middle of the door, bottom of the door, unfinished sander marks, and on the side skirt, quite obvious on the side skirt. There's one awesome stone chip here, which I'm going to have to do what I can with. Touch it in, sand it down, polish it back, make what improvements I can. And then the near side corner here, you look over the bonnet and you can see haziness and cloudiness, and it was quite obvious straight away to me. And then if you zoom in to my finger, there are areas where it's a bit dry and mottled, and it's basically had a blend. It's had some localized repair work, a smart repair on this corner for whatever reason, which we should be able to find a blend mark. Yeah, that was easy. So there's a lot of clarity lost on this side. That's the original paint, this is the new paint. That'll remove and buff up nicely, but it's just making sure not to disrupt the blend mark too much. And then that will continue across there somewhere. But there's a lot of abrasions and damage left from the prep work. Oof. Too serious, nothing too out of the ordinary, to be honest. It's a pretty straightforward two-stage correction. There will be localized additional polishing sets here and there. Some of the deeper scratches in the corners might just require a bit more work. I'm going to be aiming for 80 to 90% defect removal. It is going to bring up the paint. I know it doesn't look terrible, but actually there's a lot of luster and clarity and colour and depth and shine and brilliance and pizzazz lost underneath whatever's there. So it's digging that away, refining it down, coating it, and it'll be a lovely example. 34,000 miles on the clock. Gonna get some bits taped up, protect the edges, the trim, the plastics, test some polish and pad combinations, and I will report back later. correction progressing well for the Aston. You've just seen me on a plotter getting some PPF Suntec reaction lined up for the rear quarters, the OEM factory stone guards. It was a bit of a sweetener from me a couple of months ago when I saw the car, first of all, that actually it doesn't take a lot to replace these. You can see 35,000 miles of rash, quite an obvious impact on that side, then again this side. So new stone guards down there. That only leaves then the side skirts to be cut ahead of refining. Wings cut, mirrors, A-frame around the top, the rear deck. Obviously the roof has been lowered to gain a tighter access to this edge. Decent levels of correction around the doors. Remember the finger swipe marks underneath there. It's looking a lot cleaner. And then I've done what I can on the front bumper so far. The obvious chips have been touched over. Anything bigger than a pinhead size really has been touched in. And then I've smothered some meteorite silver over the surface, which looks horrendous. That's going to be polished back, knocked back, and hopefully expose a somewhat improved finish from what it was. Really, without a respray, it's the best we can do. Right, that is the machine polishing complete. Paint correction, refining. Really has responded quite well. Quite tough paint to get the desired results from the two-stage correction. It's not really been possible, so I've had to do maybe 2 or 3 sets of cutting in places to dig out the deepest of these sander marks. It's one thing leaving scratches and abrasions that are maybe too deep for that sort of minor correction status, but when it's a man-made defect, i.e. sander marks, pigtails from prep, I find that difficult to leave them behind. So they've been dug out as best possible. I've been over and above on the polishing, and it now leaves me with this afternoon starting on the interior, getting the leather protected, doing the exhausts, doing toothpickery, which is what I'm about to do now. Door shuts, glass, hood, Modesta coatings. Say the wheels, they're not having anything special. They are back on the car now, they're covered up just to stop them from getting covered in dust, which they were doing. So the toothpickery stage is basically this cocktail stick with a towel and taking out new and existing polish residue and dirt and dust trapped in the panel gaps. Bit of a touch-up required there. Don't know what's happened. I thought that might be some polish residue, but actually I think that's wear. Get some paint on that just to hide and cover that up. Toothpickery. 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 That's the last time I've been eating that this year. 2024 at WhiteDetails. Done. It's been quite the journey. Thanks for sticking along. Gotta say, it does look good. Impressed with that. It wasn't really a terrible example, was it? But there was just lacking areas here and there. The overall sort of paint finish could have been better. And it sits now, waiting on collection tomorrow. Tomorrow being the 21st of December. That's me done now until the 6th of January. Thinking back, actually, it was an Aston Martin, which was the Christmas episode last year as well, albeit. But there would have been about 50 years difference in age of vehicle. It was an Aston Martin DB2-4. And if you remember, I was really struggling with my left shoulder. This year, I'm struggling with my right shoulder, albeit at the minute, not as bad. Kind of rotator cuff, repetitive goings on. So just to recap on the Vantage, it's been a multi-stage, two-stage / multi-stage paint correction. An interior detail with Modesta LPS leather protection, a 2-part leather system. Modesta paint ceramic over the bodywork, nothing for the wheels, and an engine bay overhaul. Bit of a shame about the chip on the bonnet. It's a bit of a beast of a chip, as chips go. Really wanted a visit to the body shop for that. But I am happy with the lower front bumper sections, both near side offside you saw in the earlier footage on screen now. How badly chipped and marked they were from road rash, 35,000 miles of use. And using a bit of a touch-up technique, I'm very pleased with the outcome. That should see it through a few more years. I'd like to get the car outside for some after footage, but sadly it's grey, drizzly and wet out there, so we'll have to make do with indoor shots. So all that's really left is to say thank you. Thanks for your support again, as always, for your messages and comments and likes throughout the year on various social platforms, be that here on YouTube, Instagram or Facebook. It's been a great year with some exciting projects, some detailing, some PPF. I know there perhaps hasn't been as many vlogs as usual. Let me know in the comments down below your favourite job and your favourite car that's perhaps been through the doors, if there's any standout moments of this year. For me, the 512 Berlinetta Boxer this year was probably up there. That was 3 or 4 months ago now. A big detailing job, stunning turnaround on that. So yeah, over the holidays, be sure to tap into WhiteDetails on Instagram if you don't follow me there. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If you've enjoyed the episode, give it a thumbs up down below. It's going to help the video to reach more people, help the channel to grow. And I think that's about it, really. Enjoy the after footage. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. I don't know what time this episode is coming out, but it's in and around the holiday period. All the best. See you soon.
Whoa, look at that. That's amazing. That's amazing. I've never seen a car good.
There shouldn't be any movement.
There's nothing there. It's so deep.
Yeah. It's almost darker. Would you say it's a darker colour now?
Do you know, I think it is.
Certainly richer.
And these are lovely. It's really come up nice. I got